I just want to preface, because we love to preface, you all are going to know why OBC had water all over his shirt.
Casino trip, full of chips. Wanna flip, double it.
Welcome to the Full of Chips podcast, the only chips you'll never lose, where the stakes are high, the takes are bold, and the conversations are always full of chips. With your hosts, Chris, the Dice Degen, and Craig from Old Bay Craps. You're tuned in to Full of Chips, the podcast where we dive into our own experiences into the world of gambling and share stories straight from the casino floor. Whether you're a recreational gambler, a seasoned pro, or just curious what the buzz is all about, you're in the right place. Each week, we break down the games, talk to the experts, and bring you tips that could tilt the odds in your favor. So grab your lucky charm, stack your chips, and let's roll into today's episode.
Well, what is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 35 of the Full of Chips podcast, the only chips you will never lose, with your host, Chris, the Dice Degen, and Craig from Old Bay Craps. Craig, do we have a special episode in store for the folks who are listening or watching today?
I think we do, and I think if you want to really get the best out of it, you want to watch it on YouTube. You don't want to just listen to it.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say a little caveat here for anybody who is listening on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, especially Apple Podcasts, because I know there's a lot of people who are listening on that. Do yourself a favor and hop over to either Spotify where you can watch video or hop over to YouTube. The link for YouTube will be in the description of the Spotify and Apple episode, because coming up later, there's something that if you listen, you're just not going to grasp. You got to watch. I promise.
No, it's been a weird week. I think we were ready for this kind of, I'm not going to say break, because it's actually actual footage from previous episodes. And we do, in fact, for the listening audience, we do, trust us, we got a top 5 and a tip. So it's not just it's not just bloopers all the way. We got new material.
Oh yeah. We got some bloopers for you though, because some people think, Craig and I might just be so good that what we say is what comes out, but no, there's editing that goes on behind the scenes for the folks at home who don't know.
A lot of editing.
Let me tell you, some of the snips you're gonna see a little bit later are hilarious. They didn't make the episodes. Why? Well, because we want to look polished and whatnot. And they couldn't make the episodes, but don't worry, we have them in store for you. But before we get to the bloopers, we got to touch on a very, very important topic, because this episode is actually going to drop the week after we're in Atlantic City. But Craig, I think it's important that we give the folks at home a little glimpse into what goes into going on a trip to Atlantic City. Right?
Love it.
Now,
Bring it.
don't worry, folks at home. Episode 36 is going to be Craig and I live. Well, not live, but we'll be live in person from Atlantic City. It'll be recorded, but we'll give you trip details, all that kind of stuff. But this episode is leading up to that, and we got to talk about what goes into planning our trip to Atlantic City. Now, we've done episodes on planning and all that kind of stuff, but we didn't get down really to the nitty-gritty of the whole planning piece of things, right? So, Craig, when are you getting to Atlantic City, and how long are you staying in Atlantic City?
Well, first and foremost, you got to become a Caesars Rewards player. And why? Because the first thing you book is the hotel. And the hotel, I'm sorry, has to be free. And the hotel is free. And we're not flying to AC, we're driving. So we're willing to spend our own gas money. But as Chris has pointed out before, make sure you have that 20 stuck in your brim above the steering wheel to make sure that you have that money in case you go broke. You at least have the money to get gas to get home, because you have to get home.
Might need a little bit more than $20 to get gas these days with oil prices. Holy shit.
I would say going right now, you probably need about 50 for normal 20. But no, you're right. We're planning on going to AC. It's a 10 times tier multiplier. It's one of our favorite times to go, because we get to not only see the AC crew, but we're going for the points. We're trying to reach the same status or go even higher than the previous year. For me personally, I'm already at Diamond, but I want to get back to Diamond Plus because Diamond Plus comes with that $100 dinner, and I like to use that at like a Ramsey's. You know what I'm saying? I
You
mean,
can
to
get it
go
for
to
Diamond
Ramsey's
too.
after a good session, like we did that in Vegas. Remember, we were at Harrah's and we had made Diamond Plus, and we went to Ramsey's and for $104. So I had to kick in $4 on my own, but Caesar's Rewards paid for the rest of the 100 to have a steak dinner, red wine. It was amazing. But you got to plan for that.
Yeah.
So first off, you got to plan to be a rewards player so that you can get the hotel for free. Now, granted, you pay taxes, but we're talking about $15 for a 3 to 4 night stay. $15 total, not per night,
Yeah.
total. Okay. I've been to Vegas when I wasn't a Caesars Rewards player, and just the trip to Vegas with the plane and the hotel cost over $3,000. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about going to Atlantic City, which is just a 2 hour drive for OBC, and I have to pay $15 for taxes for the hotel. Come on.
Yep.
You can't beat
That's
that.
that's what you need. That's what you need, and that's for any property you're gonna play at, right? If it's Caesars, if it's the MGMs, the Hard Rocks, wherever you're gonna play, you want to get to the status, right? So I think like most of us, right, in the AC crew will tell you like Diamond is the goal. Now, there's some people who are 7 stars the goal, but that's easily attainable for them. But I think for let's say
Right.
common folk, right, Diamond is the goal. Why? Because you get no resort fees, right? That's key because that's another 40-ish dollars a day,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Then extra comped rooms, whatever it may be, the celebration dinner, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I should be Diamond Plus by the end of this trip. I mean, I'm already Diamond Plus from last year, but I should be Diamond
Same.
Plus by the end of this trip. Um, I should have that easily. I might actually be closer to elite by the end of this trip, believe it or not. Because Degen has played a little bit more this year than he has in the past. Last year, he had to worry about wedding saving and other stuff, so he didn't play as much.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's pivotal to book the room, right? If you have a host, go through the host. And then plan out kind of what you're going to do, right? So this one, we're going specifically for the multiplier. Does that mean we're only going to play at Caesars properties? No, right? Atlantic City, you got a lot of different casinos. We're going to be playing at a few other places probably, but predominantly playing at Caesars properties to get the points for that tier score, right? That's what we're looking for. And Craig, in your opinion, right, when you're going for that, does that change how you play? Because I know for me, it changes how I play.
It changes how I play because what did we say in the previous episode 34? We want to stay there for time. It's time at the
Mm-hmm.
table is what we really want, because if you don't have time at the table, you can't have an average bet per hour. You can't go to the table for 15 minutes to play the prop section and expect to get rated high.
Yep.
It doesn't happen. But if you play a 6-8 spread out to the 5 and 9, maybe if you're lucky enough, spread out to all the box numbers, and you're playing for a good couple of shooters and you get a lot of pressed up bets to, you know, your power pressing and shit like that, your average bet's going to be pretty good. And with
Yeah.
a 10 times multiplier, that's going to benefit you and get you to your status that you want. I think it's
100%.
it's agreeable that if you're really going for 7 stars, you have to go to like almost all the multipliers or most of the
Or just play
multipliers.
a lot.
Right, and you just have to
And
play a
yeah,
lot. You have to play weekly, daily, every weekend just to make and keep 7 stars, because we all know it goes back to zero come January. So
yeah.
you have to start from the beginning every single year. But for Diamond and Diamond Plus, you really can make Diamond Plus in just one trip. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, I did it in February. I went to the AC crew and we went to the 10 times tier multiplier they had in February. And I made Diamond Plus right then and there, and I didn't really get a chance to play. I think I went back in August, because we usually go back in August for the tier multiplier. It's usually a 5 times, but by the time I was done February, I was already at the status that I was wanting to get to.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, right, like with the status stuff, like I said, diamond is the goal, and then anything after that, just cool, whatever. This year I might try for elite, just because I'll be playing a little bit more. But yeah, like you said, right, you got to play, and I think our issue is right. We work. right? I'm not saying other people don't work, but we work and live
Right.
2 hours from Atlantic City and don't really have any Caesars properties close by, right? Yes, Harris, Philly is like 45 minutes from me. I hate that place. All right.
No,
Not because it's a,
let me just jump in and say I have the Horseshoe Casino in Baltimore City, but I worked in Baltimore City for 20 years, and I'm not fucking going down to Baltimore City. Okay.
yeah,
So I have to take the bullet there. All right.
yeah.
Literally
And it's
and
just how it
figuratively.
is, right? Like, literally and figuratively. No, it's just like I don't really go to that casino that often. Like for me, if I'm gonna go to a casino like nearby, I'm going to my local, right? It's not a Caesars property, it's a Boyd property. So yeah, I work on my Boyd status when I'm there, right? But for me to hit, a good status at Boyd is a lot easier than for me to hit a good status at Caesars because I can go to my local whenever I want, right? As opposed to Caesars, it's typically on a trip, right? I'm going to Atlantic City, I'm going to Vegas, whatever it may be. But going for this specific trip, right? Now, again, I said we have to work, right? So I'm only going for 2 days. I'm going Wednesday and Thursday. I'm getting in super early Wednesday for the coffee run. Probably leave my house like 5 a.m., get there for like
Yeah.
7:30, depending when I leave, that is. And then I'll stay, till Thursday and whatever. But with that, right? Goal for that trip is obviously, yes, I want to win money. Sure. But goal there also is to achieve status points, right? So as we've said with the conservative betting on the last episode and other episodes we talked about how we bet and stuff, I may bet a little bit more conservatively with the idea that I'm going to be at the tables for a lot longer of a time, right? Because yes, I can win money quickly, not a problem. Okay. Can also lose it quickly. But my goal is to earn points. So I plan on staying at the tables. And in order to do so, I'm going to play a certain way for a longer period of time as opposed to playing, let's say, more aggressively for that period of time. Now, could it work in my favor? Sure. Could it hurt me? Sure. Risk I'm willing to take in order to get, the points that I'm looking to get. But, and I know it might be semi-contradictory, right? In an episode before, we talked about why do people only play for points, right? This is a little different, okay? Because we're playing for points, but we're also playing for money. I'm not talking about that I'm trying to go hit 7-star in like a weekend.
Right. It's March. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to hit 7-star in.
You might,
You
depending who
could.
you are.
You could, but the way that
I know a few people who are there already.
Well, look, the way I play and the way you play is probably a little
I
bit more
won't be there.
conservative than
Oh, yeah.
others. So we're not
Oh,
reaching
yeah.
7-star by March.
No.
We could
If
reach
I
it-
reach
we
7-star
could
by
reach it-
March, someone check my temperature.
We might be able to reach it by fall if we kept going, but
Yeah.
the likelihood of between work and family, I'm just not getting there enough to make that kind of thing. And I just want to say up
Exactly.
front that my local, I'm going to contradict you. My local is Penn, not Boyd, and Penn pays
Okay.
shit. Okay. Penn is utter shit. And all you casinos that are Penn, fuck you. All right. Fuck you. Just that's all I have to say about that. Now, for planning, I plan on coming in on Tuesday morning, same as DGen. I'm probably gonna leave the house at 5, which it's a 2-hour drive, so I'll get there around 7. I guarantee there will already be AC crew at the table. A lot of AC crews get there at the earliest at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because most of the times they have the tables to themselves, and that's a real benefit. Because I was able to get on the table with an AC crew member at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and it was just us two. And that happened to be the session where I got up to 3,300, but I stayed too long and only walked away with 17. But I'll be there through Thursday, and I can't wait till DJ comes in because we're going to probably be doing episode 36 on Wednesday when we get there, when he gets there. So we'll probably set up after a coffee run. I'm sure that we're going to get a good coffee run, a nice breakfast in there
yes.
before we decide to record.
Definitely need a coffee run in, probably a breakfast, a little debrief on the coffee run, and then hop into recording, or unless we deviate and start playing some more, the recording will get done eventually. But yeah, that's the thing, right? And we're going to be playing, multiple games, right? I know for myself, I'm playing craps and blackjack. Those are going to be the two. Obviously, I'm sure Craig's going to play some blackjack. I know we're both obviously playing craps, but definitely want to play some craps, some blackjack Probably won't play any other casino games. I will sports bet while I'm there as well. Because one, March Madness is going on, there's soccer going on all the time. So I will be sports betting as well. But like we said, right? Goal, make money, but also to achieve the points. And in order to achieve those points, playing a little differently than I may, let's say, normally play. But goal is always to win money and then obviously see the crew. Love seeing the guys. My favorite, obviously, table time is good, but like, love getting food afterwards.
Yeah.
Like the chit chat around
The
like food
debrief?
afterwards is
Yeah.
always great. Yes.
100%. You and I had an experience that we actually I think we made a top 5 out of it, which
Mm-hmm.
was we went to breakfast at Harrah's after a session, and that was the session where I don't think we did that well at that session, but then when we went to breakfast at Coastal Kitchen in Harrah's,
Mm-hmm.
that we came across that couple who decided to order every fucking thing on the menu. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but that was a fun time just debriefing. And then Jeff joined us at the very end after Jeff had to come to us and sit down and tell us that it was a fucking hot table after our debacle, which led us to breakfast. Jeff comes over and is
Yeah.
like,
And it's
yeah, you guys missed like a 40 roller. Like, mother.
and we probably would have been on the table if breakfast didn't take 2.5 hours.
True. No, you're right.
Like
You're right.
we were there for so long. I mean, it went from breakfast to lunch. It was practically dinner time by the time we
He's
got
not
up from the
kidding.
table.
Folks, he's not kidding. We were there for over an hour before we were served. Before we were served, we were there for an
Our
hour.
coffees. Our coffees.
Our coffees,
Yeah.
which by the way
Unreal.
came with no lid. They were like, "Oh, I guess you just want to walk around with an open hot coffee and just, take a sip and spill it all over yourself." Fuck you, Coastal Kitchen. We're going to get you when we
Yeah.
come back. We're coming back, motherfucker.
So everybody knows DGen likes white sneakers. And DGen's white sneakers had coffee all over them because I didn't have a lid on the coffee. And you know how hard it is to walk while holding a piping hot cup of coffee. Mind you, no sleeve on it either because they didn't have those. So I was
No.
just holding basically a piece of paper in my hand with boiling coffee in it because I was, whatever. But no, hopefully this trip will be better. I'm sure it will be. We'll have a good time. And like I said, we'll be recording when we're there. But for the planning piece, right? Obviously, planning your trip, where you're going to stay, all that kind of stuff, right? The other thing you want to plan out is your sessions, right? We've talked about the envelopes and other stuff. So what I've personally done, and I will actually put a video out on my channel about this. I won't show you the money because YouTube doesn't like seeing money. But
Right.
I'll show you envelopes, right? So what I have done is I plan on coffee run on Wednesday, right? I have a midday fund for Wednesday and an evening fund for Wednesday. Now, the midday fund and the evening fund are a little bit higher than a typical buy-in would be, depending on what we do that day or what happens, where we go, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit different than what I normally do. But basically, 3 envelopes for Wednesday, 3 envelopes for Thursday. Now, I already know that I'm not playing nighttime sessions on Thursday because I am leaving probably in the evening time or whatever it may be. So like if I need to dip into that envelope, I can. It's like a reserve fund. Technically, it would be Thursday night, but it's a reserve fund more or less. Hopefully, we don't have to touch that at all, right? Hopefully, we're having good sessions and we can just keep going into the envelopes. But key point with this, right, is those are going to go in the safe. And then Wednesday's money is Wednesday's money. Thursday money is Thursday money. Money won on Wednesday goes into those envelopes, doesn't come out Thursday. That's the key. All right, Thursday, new day, new money.
So I'm going to be honest with the folks home, right? Planning this trip, my Thursday is going to be dependent upon Tuesday and Wednesday. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by is I'm taking probably around 1,500, which is more than I actually normally bring. I'm not at that seasoned level yet where I can bring enough envelopes for every single session. So what I'm doing is bringing 1,500, which is about 250 per session if I'm playing 3 times on Tuesday, 3 times on Wednesday, and then if I'm up, I will play Thursday. If not, I
There you
will
go.
just socialize on Thursday and maybe play a small $100 and I'll just go real simple. But my plan is actually to play 6-8. You know, I've been practicing that actually off camera in my practice sessions of just doing 6-8, going maybe high, maybe 42 6-8 or 36-8, one hit, go down to 18 and see where it goes from there, right? And I've built into my bankroll that I'm playing the world bet on the come out. I love the world bet. It's one of my most favorite. I think I said it on a previous episode. It's one of my favorite bets to play. Why? Because on the 7 it pushes. It's the only bet that pushes on the 7. And I love that about it. Will I play the bonus? Yes. Do I have to play the pass line? Yes. At Harrah's, you do have to play the pass line, I believe, when you're playing the bonus. So I've got that built in. So that means 250 a session. That means 200 is for the boxes. 50 is for the prop section. When I'm done the 50, I'm done playing the prop section. That's what I've been practicing. But that's what I've made my envelopes. 250 a session. That's 750 for day 1, 750 for day 2. If I'm up, I will play day 3. If I'm not, I will socialize day 3 and go with like $100 and just see how it goes. And I'll probably play casually so that I can socialize, which means I'm really only playing maybe one number, maybe 2 numbers. I'll see how it goes. If the one number hits, I'll spread out to the second number. But I'm going to be playing probably whatever rolls, right? Whatever that session. So if a 5 rolls and 5's the point, I'm going to play a 5. Why? Because I've been on enough sessions that people usually make 1 point. And if they're making 1 point, I'm going to play it. So that's how I've been preparing myself for this trip, which is very different from previous trips. Previous trips, whether I'm there for 3 or 4 days, I'll let the cat out of the bag. I've gone with just $600 before. No envelopes, no plan, hoping for the best. Sometimes I hit very well. But what do? I'm not disciplined enough to stop playing, and time crushes me. It's done it multiple times. I'm done with that shit. I'm going to plan out my envelopes. They're going to be very rigid, 250 an envelope, and 250 is not a lot of buy-in, people. Okay, 600 is probably a good minimum buy-in for any $15 minimum table. 250 is not. I know I'm going to see some AC crew. I know I'm going to want to socialize. So part of it is, yes, I want to win money, but I know I'm going to socialize a little bit. So I wanted to make it simple on myself and play simple bets. But what's funny, Chris, is we've gone 23 minutes of jibber jabbering and we haven't even gotten to what we're drinking.
Well, Craig, what are you drinking?
I've got Tennessee honey whiskey with a lot of Diet Coke.
There you
That's
go.
different.
There you go. Not a little bit of Diet Coke this time. I actually, in full transparency, we're planning, right? You all know DJ doesn't drink when he's about to play. DJ's got water. DJ doesn't have anything to drink today because I don't drink and play. I will drink after I play, and then once I drink, I know I'm not playing anymore. I'm just a thing that I've done. Not that I can't control myself, but it's just like your decision making is impaired slightly, depending on how much and stuff. So I prefer to drink after. So Craig likes his steak dinners. I prefer myself a nice glass or bottle, depending on how good the session was or how bad the session was at that point. But get a nice drink in, and hopefully, Craig, this trip will be good to us in the monetary, but also in the points and everything like that. And we'll have some good sessions, have some good tables, have some good stories for the podcast.
Well, if I'm being honest, I mean, every session, I'm pretty much drinking coffee black.
Oh
I
yeah,
drink coffee black. That's what I do. I drink coffee black because it's something that I enjoy, and I know I'm not going to get drunk. And I don't normally order drinks when I'm playing, like DJ, and he doesn't do it either.
yeah,
It's a bottle of water and a black coffee. That's usually what I drink when I'm playing because I want to be sharp. I want to be reading the table. You can't read the table if you're fucking drunk or if you're drinking heavily while you're playing. You just can't.
yeah.
It's fucking impossible to read the table. So you want to have the
Yep.
most sharpest mind. And for me, for my work ethic and how I do things, just even as when I'm going to work, is I drink coffee. I make decisions like that. It helps. and it helps keep my focus. So that's what I'm doing.
I agree. Yep, same here. The only addition I have
But
is
you got to
Diet
hydrate.
Coke.
You got to hydrate.
Oh yeah. My coffee runs are always water and coffee, black as well. And then in the afternoon, usually I'll switch from coffee to like Diet Coke. Um, but then sometimes I'll mix a coffee in again every once in a while. Water's a mainstay. That's always coming. But those are really the things I drink. And then, like I said, dinner, whatever. If I'm planning on playing after dinner, I'm not drinking at dinner, but then may go afterwards and get something. Who knows? We'll see. But
I'll be
Craig,
honest.
hopefully this.
If DGen hits an ATS or he hits a fire bet, we're going to celebrate afterwards.
Oh, we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna celebrate. The only problem is, you already know this. DGen doesn't shoot that often at Harris.
That's true.
So
That's true.
for me to want to actually shoot is we'll see. And it's not because I can't shoot there. I don't like the tables.
No,
And see,
they're
this is another
bouncy.
thing, right?
They're bouncy.
Well, this is another thing with planning, right? Like, you plan on the casino you're going to. I know
Correct.
that I typically don't shoot that well at Harris, and it's not because I can't shoot there. It's because I have a 12-foot table behind me. Harris tables are 14 foot. My table's pretty hard. Harris's tables are a little bit bouncier, right? So it's like, it's a different feeling. Now, yes, I can move around my table in practice. I'm not saying that I won't shoot there. It's just not my preferred place to shoot. And my other thing is, for me to want to shoot at Harris, right? I would like to be in stick left 1 or stick left 2. I know there are better shooters in this group than me from stick left 1 and stick left 2. I will gladly move from those spots so they can have those spots. Why? Because again, we're all there to make money, right? It's another piece of the planning thing, right? If I'm going to stand at stick left 1 and I know Lou wants stick left 1, Lou's getting stick left 1. I don't care.
100%.
But like, I'm not going to sit here and take up a prime shooting spot just because I may want to shoot once or twice. If it's open, sure. Or if I want to go shoot, yes, I will go do it. But I have no problem at Harris standing in the hook, standing at the end of the table. I can shoot from the end of the table too, right? I'll do it. I'll shoot from there. But
I was just going to say that.
yeah, it's like, it's not that I can't do it. It's I prefer not to. Why? It's not my preferred shooting spot, right? So why would I want to risk money knowing that I'm not in a spot that I like to shoot from?
No,
Right now, if we go to a different casino or different conditions, sure, I'll shoot from other spots. But I know myself, and I know the shooters in the group, that why also would I want to delay some of those shooters in their prime spots? The dice, right? That's another thing that people don't factor into their play sometimes, is getting the hot shooters the dice back quicker, right? Not everybody's got to shoot all the time. I don't care if you think you're the hottest thing that's ever done come from the sun. I don't even know what I just said, but I don't care, right? Here's the thing. If somebody is on, you want to get them the dice as quick as possible. That's what you want, so they can keep in the zone. Because once they pull off, you don't know what's coming.
That's an interesting point because, well, first I want to say, if I'm at stick left 1, and let's say it was empty table, or maybe there was 2 people at the table and I'm at stick left 1, and I see Lou come up to me and say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "There you go, Lou. Get stick left 1. I'm going to stick left 2." Now, the reason I do it is twofold. One, we know Lou that's his spot. Stick left 1 is his spot. For me, stick left 2 or 3 is actually my spot. But on a 14-foot table, I don't mind shooting from the end. I'll shoot a 3V or something similar, or a 6.5, 6.4 or something like that from the end of the table, because it's a 14-foot table. You've seen me, Chris. You've seen me at both Harrah's in Vegas and Harrah's in AC, and you know, because of the 14-foot table, I need that because of the power I put in my throw, and that it doesn't work on a 12-foot table. It works on a 14-foot table. So I am more than happy, just like you said, more than happy to scooch on down if I know that there's a shooter who I trust at the table for stick left 1 or stick right 1. I don't care which. But if Clay's at the table and I'm at stick right 1, I know that stick right 1 is his spot. I know he loves to throw from stick right 1. So I am more than happy to go to stick right 2 and continue. Now, the choice I'll make at stick right 2 is I just won't shoot that session, right? I'm not in a prime spot
Yeah.
for myself. Stick right run is more of a primary spot for me on the right side. So I will go to stick right 2 or in the hook, and I will just choose not to shoot. I will get the dice as quickly as I can back to clay.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, Craig, we've put in some planning. Hopefully we can put the execution in as well. But
I hope so.
I think it's time. I think it's time to share with the folks at home
The blooper
some
reel.
of the behind the scenes that they don't get to see that you and I have got to experience. So shall we get into the blooper reel?
I just want to preface, because we love to preface, you all are going to know why OBC had water all over his shirt. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's hop into the blooper reel. Fourth option here is where the hell did my calendar go? Need my secretary for this shit.
Yeah, that would work. Is trying to do my calendar here. 30.
Bruh.
Welcome everybody to the Full of Chips podcast, the only chips you will never lose. With fuck it, let me redo that. Damn it. I was like DGen.
This is great for the blooper reel, by the way. Like you're setting this up perfectly.
Welcome everybody to episode 32 of the Full of Chips podcast, the only chips you'll never lose. I am Old Bay Craps, your host, but I can't do it alone. Here's my co-host, Chris the Dice DGen. Chris, how we doing tonight?
Thank you. Thank you.
The third most common number, if you want to put 6 and 8 as number 2A and 2B, you know, behind Big Red. But I find that very interesting, and I know that we're kind of math people, Chris, but we're not to the extent being mathletes. And we've talked to plenty of people who think momentum is just a fake thing. And I always come back to this. If you think it's a fake thing, then please mathematically explain love. Like I said, I have so much fucking here. I can't. There's no way I can get through it all. The I swear I'm leaving after this loop. You say it out loud. You mean it. You believe it. And then the table gives you just enough hope to keep you chained to the stool like a Greek myth. Let me redo that. That sounds stupid. I swear I'm leaving after this loop. You say it out loud. You mean it. You believe it. And then the table just, shit. Do it one more time.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Bruh.
All right. All right. Let me grab this. Put it here.
Good beverage.
I could use more whiskey, but it'll be all right. I can get through it. I can fight it.
You can get through it. Oh my god.
The I swear I was just up flashback. You look at your rack, look at the table, look at your rack, look at your table, look at the rack again, and suddenly you remember you up. You were up a lot not too long ago. It's the gambler's version of waking up from a dream and you liked better. Shit. Let me redo that. Damn it. See, the whiskey hits you towards the end of the show.
Oh yeah, it's hitting. Could be a 10-minute drive, but shit, that feels like the longest 10 minutes of your life.
I don't know if you do what I do, but oftentimes if I'm doing that ride home, I call my wife, and most people think, well, why would you do that?
What?
Because it just makes it's like being accountable for what you just did. And so you call them and you're like, yeah, just lost that. She's like, didn't work out, did it? I was like, not today.
Yeah. You don't know my favorite thing is to do on that long car ride home? So, you know, we get comps at a lot of these casinos, right? You get your rewards credits, your food credits, whatever it may be.
Right.
Nothing better than like $1,000 chocolate chip cookie on the ride home. Listening to music, going down the road, eating that $1,000 chocolate chip cookie
You're like
that the casino gave you as a little parting gift on your way out the door.
every bite reminding you of the bet you lost.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, that chocolate chip was $100. I better
that
keep that one in the
6
mouth for a little bit. Savor that shit.
All right. My number one moment that all gamblers know too well is the internal negotiation with the gambling gods. You start making, let me fuck it over. Do it again. All
Let me
right. My
fuck it
number
over.
one.
I can't wait for the blooper reel on this one.
All right. My number one moment every gambler knows too well is the internal negotiation. I can't even fucking talk.
That Tennessee honey's hitting. That Tennessee honey's hitting.
Oh shit. Oh my god, I gotta clean that up. Ah, shit. Hold on, I gotta
Wait
wipe
for
my
the
glasses.
blooper reel on this one. I might have to make this first. Forget the episode. I'm gonna start the blooper reel.
Oh my god. Good thing this is almost over. I gotta clean this shit up. God, my shirt's all messed up.
I was gonna say shirt's all wet.
When you edit it, people are gonna be wondering why. They were like, how did he get a spot on his shirt already? Oh,
I have to say, tune in to episode 35 for blooper reel of this one because he'll figure out why his shirt's wet. I forget who said it. Somebody said it with the speak softly and carry a big stick or whatever that saying is.
Are you serious?
Teddy Roosevelt. That was Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt. See, this is why I know Craig would have known. So I know the quote. Couldn't tell you who said it. Now I can tell you it was good old Theodore. Theodore said it. And Craig, take us out on episode the double DGen, right? And whoever on the Craig, take us out on episode double DGen or whoever on the Orioles you said before. I forget the name. I'm sorry. I'm
Eddie
old.
Murray.
Sure, Eddie Murray.
Only one of the best swing hitters ever.
I told you in the beginning of this
switch
podcast.
hitter. I meant switch hitter. That's going in the blooper. I meant switch hitter, not swinger. Here's a mini point, a mini tip of the episode. A mini tip. Can you have a mini tip? Because the tip's pretty mini.
Whoa.
This is a mini tip.
Whoa. That's what she said. Hold the phone.
So we just came out of the blooper reel. I hope you all enjoyed that. We had a ball going through this blooper reel. We saw some shit that just made us laugh even harder while we were watching it. So I hope you enjoyed it. It was for your entertainment. But now it's time to get into one of our favorite things about our podcast, and that's a brand new top 5.
Yes, sir. Top 5. All right, Craig, top 5 for episode 35 is the top 5 reasons planning makes you a winner at the casino. Right on theme with what we've been talking about. Planning for the AC trip. Craig, so number 5.
Number 5 for me is you don't let the casino think for you, all right? Most players let the lights, the noise, the adrenaline make their decisions. You walk in with a plan, which means you're already playing your game, not theirs.
There you go. There you go. My number 5 is you don't protect those wins if you don't plan, right? So biggest mistake that a lot of people make is giving back what they've won. You got to play with discipline, which is part of planning, and planning forces discipline. Lock up those profits. Make sure you're walking away ahead and stop the, oh, one more shooter or one more roll, or I'm going to play for a little bit longer. Winners are not the ones who catch a hot streak all the time. They're the ones who leave while they're up.
Excellent point. Excellent point. So my number 4 that makes you a winner already is you protect your bankroll from yourself. Tilt, boredom, ego, especially ego, the 3 silent assassins to your bankroll. A plan keeps your bets consistent and your emotions in check, so you don't sabotage your own night.
Yes, sir. My number 4 is your sessions are strategy based and they're not chaos. Unplanned play usually leads to random bets, which are going to lead to random outcomes, which are going to lead to chaos. You have a plan, you have an intentional approach. You have a certain way you're going to play, whether it be a strategy, a press, or regress, whatever that may be. You know when you're going to get in, when you're going to get out, and you're being consistent. Of course, over time, consistency beats chaos, even in the casino where you have a negative EV.
My number 3, you maximize the fun instead of the chaos. So planning isn't about being rigid. It's about creating space to enjoy the game without spiraling, because we all spiral every once in a while. You get more play, you get more stories, and fewer, why did I do that moments.
There you go. My number 3 is you stop fighting the math and you actually play with it. We all know the games have a house edge, but you stick to the smarter bets, like we talked about in the last episode, or actually 2 episodes ago, right? Your line bets, your simple box bets, whatever it may be. You stay away from those high house edge prop bets, and you structure your play around probability, not hope.
Love it. Love it. Couldn't be more true, right?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
My number 2, you leave on your terms. The biggest flex in the casino is walking out when you decide, not when your wallet taps out. My wallet has tapped out a lot. A plan gives you a clean exit, win or lose. Like I said, first time ever played, lost 180, did not care, played for 2 hours and absolutely fell in love with craps.
I love that. I love it. I love that tip, or that number 2 as well. My number 2 for why planning makes you a winner is it stops you from making emotional decisions. When you have the plan, your emotions, they're not there, right? You didn't plan for the emotions to be there, so they're not in your plan. You don't chase losses. You don't press more than you should. You don't play longer than you should, right? You eliminate decisions that are based on emotion, and you can just stick to the plan that you had, which will hopefully make you stop reacting and start executing.
There you go. You got to execute. You can't just
Gotta execute.
you can't just let the game bleed you out.
Nope.
All right, my number 1 may be a cop out, but my number 1 is you decide not to play. That's what makes you a win. That's what makes you a winner.
Wrong.
You decide not to play. You just like, you know what? I'm just not feeling it. I'm not even going to buy in.
Yeah. You're not wrong though, right? You don't play. I mean, you can't lose if you don't play, right?
can't.
Now, some people are going to be like, well, you can't win if you don't play either. That's true, right? Both sides of the coin are true on that one. My number 1 is going to sound a little bit like deja vu, but not the same number 1 as Craig. You can control only one thing to make you a winner, which is your money. All right. Casinos thrive on people who don't have a plan for their bankroll. When you walk in, you have your bankroll, you have your limits, you have your bet sizing and your rules that you're going to follow. You remove the casino's biggest advantage, which is a lack of control. If you can't control yourself, the casino will control you. Plan players are going to last longer, they're going to play smarter, and they're going to avoid going broke on a bad run.
Love it.
Great top
Love it.
5.
Yeah.
Very fitting for the planning.
You know, it's hard to be a winner, right? It's hard to be a winner at this game, but you have to just, God, I don't think we can say it enough, Chris. If you don't have a plan, you're literally just burning your money. You might as well just take the cash out of your wallet, take a lighter, light it on fire in the parking lot, and just get back in your car and drive home.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have a plan, you're better off doing what you said is number one and just not buying in and not playing. Honestly.
Just
Because
don't play.
like
Just stay home.
yeah.
Save
Just
yourself the
don't even
toll.
bother. Exactly. That's the truth. That is the truth. You know what another truth is, Craig? Our tip of the episode. What's our tip of the episode?
I really like the tip of the episode for today. I think you're going to like it too, DGen. Tip of the episode: pivot early, pivot proud. What do we mean? If the table changes, you change. Same goes for life. The fastest way to lose in craps or in life is sticking to a plan that no longer fits the moment. Cold dice, switch lanes. Bad energy, reset. Life throws the same curveballs. Jobs shift, relationships cool, routines stop paying dividends. Winners aren't stubborn, they're adaptive. A pivot isn't panic, it's power.
Very poignant tip. Very strong tip. It's true though, right? You got to pivot and you have to be proud of the pivot. And by proud, embrace the pivot and make sure you're actually pivoting into something that, you can control, right? There's so many things that you can't control in a casino. So being able to actually take control of something is super, super important. So just make sure that when you are planning, you have a few different plans or a few different ways you can pivot in the plan. Because if you go in thinking, this is the plan, I'm going to execute it this way, yeah, that's great and stuff. But we all know it may not work out that way. So make sure you think of some pivots, right? At work all the time. Here's the plan, but you got to think of, how to mitigate this, this, and this. Same thing in the casino,
100%.
right? Got to have your plan, and then you got to have a way to pivot off of that plan, but stay close to the plan, right? You're not taking your plan, crumpling it up, and throwing it out the window. You're pivoting slightly or in a way that still aligns with the overall goal of your plan or the structure of your plan.
But here's the thing: if you pivot, it does not mean that you can't return to your plan. What if the table
True.
turns in your favor? What if that heater does come? Now you can return to your plan and really take advantage of it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great episode 35. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know it was a little unorthodox. Typically we have a guest on for 35 or for episodes that end in 5 or 0. But this one we had to do a little guest appearance from the blooper reel so you guys could see some of the behind the scenes, because sometimes I feel bad editing them out, to be honest with you. But again, it needs to be edited out for the cleanliness of the episode and whatnot. But
Well, let's be honest. We're not doing an interview because we're going to be in AC for a tier multiplier. So,
Yep.
you know,
we will be in Atlantic City. Hopefully the tables treat us well. And stay tuned for episode 36, where we will give you a debrief on what happened in Atlantic City. We'll go through it all. We'll talk about it. And maybe we'll post some videos while we're there. Who knows? If you want to see those, that would be on the short form content on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and
There you go.
YouTube. If you want to email us, FullofChipsPodcast@gmail.com. Full-length episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. And don't forget about the Patreon. Link is down below. Craig, take us out on episode 35.
If you can't pivot, you might as well adapt to not being full of chips.
On the